You got my mind racing with the way you're behaving today. No way. You and the city trying to convince me not to leave with the feeling it's giving me.
And how many times will you lie in bed? And how many times will you lie in bed? And how many times and how many times will you lie in bed?
Unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you've seen plenty of pictures, heard all the news about what it's like in New York City right now, and pretty crazy. A little weird. It's kind of like a Black Mirror episode. Unprecedented. Just how quiet and slow everything is around here. I guess the craziest thing for me to wrap my head around is it's not only New York, it's the entire world. It's not like you can just leave and fly and go somewhere else and get away from what is happening. Everyone's kind of dealing with the same thing. So the reason I made this video is because here in New York, we are the epicenter of the outbreak, really, in the entire United States. So New York, the city, has been hit the hardest. You know, I really don't want to go into all the details. That's all over the news. What I'm more concentrated or concerned about today is letting you know what have been the actual biggest changes, the adjustments we've had to make in our life. And you're not only going to hear from us, you're going to hear from a bunch of different creators here in New York City, other YouTubers, Instagram creators. We're all going to give you a little bit of insight on how our lives have been affected, and also, more importantly, what we've done to stay creative. Let's just quickly hit upon the fact that we are very fortunate. We're lucky that we have all the supplies we need, we have all the food we need, we have a place to stay. Amanda's still working full time. When you look at it on the grand scale, you know, these adjustments really aren't that big of a deal, but we still want to share with you what the challenges have been in these crazy times, and I'm sure that the majority of you are going to be able to relate. In New York City, space is a commodity, and you don't exactly get a lot of it unless you have a lot of money. And this is our apartment. Check out this video for the full apartment tour. So we live in about less than 400 square foot apartment. That's what the challenge has been. We have spent 18 months traveling the world. During that time, we spent about 5 of those months living out of camper vans. We're no strangers to close confined spaces. The only difference now is that we're working. When I say we, I actually mean Amanda's working, and I'm just doing other odds and ends stuff because my job right now is on hold. In this small space, we only have one real true workstation. Unlike other places, maybe even like a 1-bedroom, one person could go in the living room, the other person in the bedroom. With us, we don't really have that option. I could go in the bathroom, I guess. But this is way too small and way too loud. Or I can leave the apartment, or I can just sit here in the quiet like I do most of the time. Here it is, our little workstation area. And here is our other workstation. She wakes up before me, so she'll spend her morning till maybe mid-afternoon over here, and then I'll switch, and then she'll come out here. So the lack of workspace isn't the real issue. The real problem is that in Amanda's job, she's a recruiter, so she does lots of phone interviews, phone screens, conference calls. On any day, she can be on the phone for 4 or 5 hours. And that means while Amanda's on these very important calls, I have to stay silent, keep Coco on lockdown because he barks at everybody that walks by. And yeah, so that can be a little bit challenging. Even if I'm, slaving away in the kitchen, I gotta be quiet. So yeah, I think that is the biggest adjustment we've really had to make. With that being said, we've got a bunch of other great New York City creators, and let's hear what they've been doing.
It's so cold out here. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is a light. What have I been doing to stay creative during this quarantine, during this self-isolation? I've been doing stuff like this, just getting creative and doing fun stuff by myself here at home with the equipment that I luckily have that I've acquired. You can see lots of tripods and light stands set up. Also, because I'm not able to go explore New York and the world like I normally love to do, I've been exploring Hyrule on my Nintendo Switch. I know it sounds ridiculous, but this game, it has such a huge world and it's completely open. You can go do whatever you want, whenever you want, so I've been using that as my escape, as my exploration. Honestly, not a lot has changed for me because I spend so much time here. I work from home at this beautiful, messy desk as a freelancer, but the biggest adjustment I've had to make is not seeing my friends and not seeing New York. I haven't seen Manhattan in almost 2 months. I stay here in my apartment 90% of the time, except when I go to get groceries. And I miss it. I miss New York City and I miss my friends. So that's been rough, but everything else has been pretty normal, pretty okay.
Hey, what's up guys? My name is Brett Conti and I'm a YouTuber that lives here in New York City. And right now, New York is the epicenter of this whole COVID-19 and also where I am quarantining. So life here in the city has been very different. There's a lot more tension where you could be walking out on the sidewalk and see someone else who may want to just jump out of the way and not get within 6 feet of you. Like, people are definitely taking that so serious and it almost comes off as rude, but you do understand that they're just looking out for everyone's well-being. And I feel like I'm using this time as wisely as I can, but also enjoying some downtime and relaxing. So I've been learning new ways to edit videos in Adobe After Effects. I've also been practicing about an hour a day Mandarin Chinese. 你好吗? 我也很好你呢? 不客气. And a lot of my content that I typically make on my YouTube channel is travel related, so I'm just filming in my apartment and it's challenging me to still make videos but making them as entertaining as possible just from here in my apartment. I would totally rather be out in the world traveling right now, but I am trying to stay optimistic and use this time to learn some new skills.
My name is Dana Brez and I am a travel blogger based in New York City. My norm is usually travel, 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 so the shelter-in-place order has totally changed my whole business completely because we are no longer able to travel, and that's where I usually create new content. That's what I do. So the past last year I was on the go for so many weeks at a time that I never really had a true time to just check in with myself. So honestly, my time at home has been all in the kitchen. I've been cooking a ton more and learning new techniques with different dishes like chicken, salmon. I've also been baking a ton, banana bread, it was delicious, and some brownies. And of course, I've created some fun cocktails. So I'm really channeling my creative energy in the kitchen. When I'm traveling, I never really have time to cook a lot at home, so I'm really enjoying that. So for me personally, I'm not as productive as I would have been if I was in a super travel mode, but I'm definitely taking the time now to take a real break. It's like a staycation for me and just focusing on what I need, so when we are back to the norm rate, I'm super ready to go and had this time to really just check in with myself. So if you haven't been in the kitchen, I highly suggest picking up a recipe you've always wanted to make and just go ahead and make it because it's super fun to do and it's also a great family activity. I hope everyone just stays safe and we'll get through this.
Okay, Amanda, so I'm gonna answer some of your questions. The biggest adjustment I've had to make during this lockdown, outside of wearing sweatpants more often, has just been not being afraid to go outside. And I would say there's just this unease and anxiety right now about leaving my apartment, and I'll do it when I have to, but I miss just being able to go for a carefree walk without having to make sure that there's nobody around me, you know, just trying to avoid other people at the supermarket or at pharmacies. And as far as staying creative, just like you guys, having a YouTube channel has really helped me with that. Now my content has changed quite a bit. I'm doing all my content pretty much from home unless I'm reviewing old videos about New York City. So I've had to get creative with ideas like having my wife cook or giving updates about the status of New York City. Things like that have definitely kept me creative. I don't know where I'd be right now if I didn't have a YouTube channel to give me something to look forward to make people happy. Thanks a lot, guys.
I'm Naz.
Hey, I'm Daniel.
And we are here in New York City, in Queens, in our apartment. And we have been here for about 30 days, about a month, right?
Yep.
So we are trying to find creative and inventive ways to keep ourselves busy, our minds busy, and not kill each other.
Yep, so with all this extra time on our hands, what have we been doing?
Well, you like to play music, and we have some fun gadgets and things to do around the house. And he also plays guitar, so he spends a lot of time doing those things.
It helps keep you sane. We've also, exercise is very important, so we've been trying to burn off all those calories since we've been eating a lot of food.
Yes.
Our dog Zachy likes to exercise with us.
Does he?
He loves all the extra attention.
And we're fortunate enough to have a treadmill, so we pulled that out, dusted off the cobwebs, and started using that too. We also tried a hand at cooking. So we got to get our New York pizza in somehow. We're in New York, we're making pizza, so it's New York pizza, right?
She cooks, I eat.
Hey. What else have we been doing?
Video games.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot of video games.
So, well, you know what, the most important thing is that we've taken some time to spend some time together and connect with our family. And we hope that you're spending some time with your family too. We hope that you guys are healthy and safe. And we miss you guys, we love you guys. We hope that we will see you out there soon.
Hey guys, we're Becca and Dan from Half Traveled.
So we've been in our apartment for about 5 weeks, and in addition to our apartment, we wanted to welcome you to our gym, our co-working space, our office space, our cafe, our restaurant, our nightclub, our library, all the above, whatever else there is.
Our plant nursery.
Yeah, our nursery, everything. We've really been creative in multi-purposing our living room and bedroom and kitchen to everything that we used to do in New York. We've liked it so far. Becca's going to tell you a little bit about how else we're staying creative.
So during this time, because we can't travel and we're not really going anywhere, probably the most interesting place we go is like the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge or somewhere else where we can watch the sunset and get some photos. But we're using our home as a creative studio and showing the world a bit about how we brew coffee in the morning, how our plants grow or how they wilt and how they grow again. And really just using our home as our creative outlet so that we don't get bored. Thanks for having us, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Mark and Amanda, thanks for inviting me to be part of this. I mean, what hasn't changed, right? Like, my biggest change really is just trying to figure out how to survive in a world where travel is banned. You know, I own a tour company here in New York and we can't even give tours. So it's a little bit stressful, but I've just been making new YouTube videos on recipes. We actually just moved into a new apartment, so we are still in the process of unpacking. Today I actually gave a webinar on how to manage a small business through a crisis. So I'm just keeping busy, trying to come up with ways that I will emerge stronger than ever out of this crazy situation.
Huge thank you to all the creators that contributed. Last but not least, I would like to just talk about what I've done to stay creative. For me, creativity it really ebbs. Sometimes you'll get a ton of great ideas, other times, nothing. You'll get frustrated, and in those instances, that's when you just have to step back. I'll do certain things like exercise, take on new hobbies. Been making some pretty mean sourdough loaves, and that just really allows me to clear my mind and then revisit an idea or a project and come at it with a clean slate. Being creative doesn't necessarily mean that you have to come up with some brand new idea or something, you know, that's just no one's ever seen before. Sometimes it can mean repurposing or reusing something that you've already done. And that's the case for me. With this time, gone through footage that's 3 years old, taking that footage and challenging myself to repurpose it, remaster it, try to make it relevant. I really think creativity it's like this positive feedback loop. It's just like success. Success breeds success, creativity breeds creativity, and the more you kind of put yourself out there, the more success you're gonna have. Okay, so make sure you guys go and show these other creators some love. Check them out on Instagram, on YouTube. Links will be in the description, up here in the card section. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That really means a lot to us. And please stay safe, please stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.